This is Three Friends and All the Things podcast, sponsored by Trees Company, located in Port Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Axe and Arrow Brewery, High Street, Glassboro, on Rowan's campus.
KMT Consulting Group, 900 Haddon Avenue in Collingswood. This is Three Friends and All the Things.
Disclaimer. Buckle up. This episode of Three Friends and All the Things is packed with foul language, inappropriate comments, and even some streaking. If that's your jam, then welcome to the circus. Let the shenanigans begin.
Seriously?
Pete, repeat, we're on a boat. Pete fell off.
I found the page where they talk about the ATCO St. Patrick's Day celebration, which isn't a parade because, we're racist against Irish people and we're not cool enough to have a parade. Probably be like 17 beer stands though.
And food. Don't forget.
And food. Well, it's Irish. It's got to be boiled. If it's not boiled, it's not Irish.
Irish potatoes.
No parade. That's sad.
No parade. Not cool enough for a parade. I bet you they have a Columbus Day parade. Welcome to Three Friends and All the Things podcast, the show where filters go to die, opinions fly free, and laughter is basically a full-time job. They're not here to solve the world's problems. They are here just to make each other laugh and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. This is Three Friends and All the Things podcast, real talk for real people.
All right, well, welcome to Three Friends and All the Things. We are back for another episode. Does anybody have a fact of the day? I do.
Yes.
Dave has
I have
one.
one.
Okay. All right, let's go with our fact of the day.
Octopus have 3 hearts. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills, and the third one pumps to the rest of the body.
I was going to say the third one is for their man to crush and leave.
Boy, this has come personal. Went from octopus to Colleen.
I have a fact of the day. I found it yesterday, but I'll tell it to you today. Apparently, the youngest generation, the Gen Z, I guess they're the 13 to 24-year-olds, their favorite pastime now is crocheting.
Dude, that's
weird.
coming back with fashion.
Weird.
Yeah, like our pastime was drinking Everclear out of a trash can in a field, and they crochet.
I got a Wooble for Christmas. It's a starter. It's a starter crochet kit, and yeah, it's a Wooble. It's called Wooble. I can't remember what it is. Is it Yoda?
Can somebody crochet me a pair of shorts?
Is it like Google with a lisp? It's a Wooble?
It's a Wooble. Yeah.
Spoogle. It's a spoogle with
It's a
SP.
Wooble.
Spoogle.
My fact of the day.
No, you're thinking of a Spurtle.
Right.
Yeah, while his pickle's getting hummus. It's on Neptune. My God, winds on Neptune can blow faster than 1,200 miles an hour.
Wow. Does that mean that the
Yeah.
gorilla that can live 1,700 could stop the winds?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's more like a calculus question, and I wasn't any good at math. So let's get this party started. Okay, today we are going to talk about influencers and do they or do they not actually contribute? What do you guys think? Who wants to start us off?
Yeah, Colleen, you did some background on this.
Well, when we first talked about this topic and the question was, do they contribute? My initial question was, do you mean to life? Because the short answer is no. But do they contribute to society, right? So I went online and I did some research, and the influencer industry in 2024 was estimated at $24 billion, B as in bitch, $1 billion. And in 2025, $2 billion industry.
Hmm.
And apparently, according to influencemarketinghub.com, 85% of people polled believed in the effectiveness of influencers.
Okay.
There are different studies on who believes in that effectiveness versus what they believe. 88% of people believe authenticity matters, but only 50% of people say that, 88% believe authenticity matters. 50% say most of them are fake anyhow.
Mhm.
And a third of them misrepresent themselves and or their product. So that's a lot of conflicting numbers there. Like if
Yeah.
85% of people say influencers influence, but more than half of those say, well, they're all probably fake anyhow.
Mhm.
And 33% say, well, they may not be fake, but you can't trust their reviews because they're being paid for them. So it's all kind of mishmashed. But then
Yeah.
I looked up because I don't follow any influencers. I never have. I honestly had to look up the definition of an influencer for this podcast.
Okay.
And it turns out that Gen Z, 77% of Gen Z follow influencers online. 50% of millennials, 24% of Gen Xers, and that just sounds about right to me, and 17% of boomers when they can find the phone that's not a remote control and figure out how to work it.
Right. Right.
So, and the other thing I found out was that there are different types of influencers. You have your celebrity influencers, you have your Joe Schmo influencers, you have product influencers, and you have social influencers. And they each all have their own little niche that they
Mhm.
live in.
Mhm.
So if you were to ask me, do influencers do anything? Because I'm a Gen Xer and I'm a negative Nelly, no, they don't do anything. They don't impact the way I buy, shop, or feel. But apparently
you.
that's generational because millennials and Gen Z do follow them and do listen to what they're saying.
Mhm.
It's like when
Right.
we were talking about, I don't remember what podcast it was in, but we were talking about how celebrities are talking about politics and giving political speeches. And my response was, you're an actor. Like, I don't know what gives you credibility. We used to have deeper sources than because you're popular. Right. And I don't know that I ever moved out of that mindset. So I think the answer largely depends on who you are, how much they affect you.
I think.
Could it be used as a good tool? Absolutely. Is it used as a good tool? I think
would
there's a
say
lot
no.
of blackballing and that cancel culture thing that's going on. You say one wrong thing and all of a sudden the whole world hates you. I think it's used poorly when it could have been a very good tool.
Mhm.
But when you have influencers like Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner and a couple of soccer players and The Rock Johnson, like, where
It's a
are we
booty
going?
influence. You can influence
Right?
a booty. The booty's the
Where-
easiest thing to influence.
No, I'm serious. These are the top social media influencers. Like Cristiano Ronaldo has 1 billion followers. He's the first to reach that milestone. 1 billion followers. He plays soccer. Like, what is he influencing? Soccer cleats?
I honestly don't.
So
don't
that's
think
where my disconnect comes from. Does the
I don't think
influencer actually have
influencers
any
influence
expertise?
anything. The Gen Zs and the millennials, while they use that as a tool and they follow, if you look at the grand scheme of things, this is why work in the workforce doesn't get done today, because we're too
Mhm.
busy TikToking, YouTubing, and every other social media garbage.
You have to
that they're
post a
looking
picture
at.
of your dinner.
Yeah,
God forbid.
okay. And as I'm feeding my kids, we're doing TikToks to see how fast I can feed them or the proper way to put a spoon in a kid's mouth. Meanwhile, the kid's choking. Like, seriously. Like,
Mhm.
I can't understand the mindset of the Gen Z and the millennial. And then they want to point the finger at the Gen X's because we're working hard and doing their job for them. And then they want to tell us how to do our job. Meanwhile, business is closing up.
Meanwhile, you have to tell them not to eat Tide Pods?
Yes.
Right.
Don't drink chlorine.
Mm.
Don't
The
use it as
antifreeze bottle.
mouthwash.
The friggin' antifreeze bottle, when you're putting antifreeze in your car, which they probably don't know how to do not drink this.
Yeah,
Well, don't
because they
forget.
think that the green one's apple juice
Yeah, but don't forget it. Don't
or
forget.
Gatorade.
They want to do the 710 plug in the car. You guys know what the 710 plug is, right?
No, I know 6'7", 6'7".
No.
Yeah.
No. You know
Seven
the
is-
710 thing in the engine? That's not 710. It's oil. You're looking at it
Oh,
backwards.
oil upside down.
Yeah. No, I'm
Do you
serious.
remember? Do you remember our car user manuals showed you how to change your oil and how to set your
Yeah.
timing belt and how to clean your spark plugs? And now it's, don't eat the antifreeze and take it to a dealer.
Right.
Or how about the other side of it? Like you talk to some of these Gen X or Gen Zs and millennials, and even the ones after those two generations, where if we were to go, if a natural catastrophe hit today and we had no way of getting food, most of your Gen Xers would know how to hunt. These other ones would read a book on how to hunt. Meanwhile, I'm feeding their family, their neighbor's family, and the family down the street
I'm
because they're
not.
still reading the book.
I'm in a bunker laughing at them while I drink my gin and juice.
Well, I got my beer and you got some vodka, so we're good.
Listening
Mine-
to some
Oh wait, look,
Snoop
and
Dogg.
Chris has hers.
I got my drinks tonight too. I
Yeah.
got mine too. I
So-
didn't want to be left out.
Do you think
Mm.
influencers could change that they could empower the younger generations to be
It all
more
depends.
self-sufficient if, in fact, one of those E-bombs went off and we lost technology?
Okay. Here's my theory on this, right? So I think the reason why there's so many influencers amongst the Gen Z, millennials, and every generation after that, I think half of the problem is they were born into the technology age. So they don't know any different, right? Where we grew up, we didn't have the technology. We had to read the book. We had to learn how to do it. We were hands-on. We had to figure out what to do with ourselves and entertain ourselves during the day,
Encyclopedias.
during the summer, right? It was go outside, ride your bike, find something to do. I remember my mom saying, go outside and find something to do. You're not going to be watching TV all day, right? Okay, great, fine. We were out as soon as the sun came up. We were out all day, came home for dinner. If we were allowed, we went out after dinner for a while.
Your
and then
loud
we'd come
dinner.
back. Well, depending on like when it was it dark? How close to home were you going to be? Are the neighbor kids, are they all allowed out? That kind of thing. So we learned how to do things hands-on. Now you have the generation that comes into the technology age, right? So all they know is technology. All they know is social media. Now, I do believe that social media makes you stupid. It really does. You get people on there trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. They're doing stupid things that are, it's causing harm to them, harm to other people, and they're coming up with random ideas like, oh, you know what? Let's have a competition. Let's see how much water you can drink, how many bottles of water you can drink, and the person who drinks the most is going to win tickets. And you know what happens?
They're going to win a toe tag is what they're going to win.
Right. And that happened to a lady. She drank entirely too much water
And she drowned
and she
herself.
ended up passing away. And she did it because it was on a radio show. In theory, like the ideas don't sound as harmless, but in reality, they really are when you put them into practice. And so I think a lot of these people are just doing what they can to get their faces out in public, making them think that they're famous. They're chasing the fame, they're chasing the dollars, and it takes it away from the people who are really out there trying to do good, because
Do you think that classifies them as an influencer, though, or is just a moron?
I would most
I
likely
would
go
think.
with just a moron because honestly, like I
Well,
read
how
People
did?
magazine every single morning, right?
Yeah,
I
but they
read
also
my
judge
celebrity
that.
gossip. I go
So
on
deep
and
news.
They
but
rate that
but
on the number of followers they get and the amount of views that they get. That's how
right.
they rate whether they're an influencer or not.
But here's the thing, right? So I go on People magazine and it's like influencer Jane Smith, um, blah 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 blah, whatever. And I'm like, who? I don't even and I think everyone is tagging themselves as a quote unquote influencer these days because I think that's like the cool thing to do. Which
And
to me it's
you
stupid.
see those burn videos of influencers that go to a restaurant and eat, and then when they get the bill, they're like, "Oh no, I'm an influencer. I'm going to tag you. What do you mean you're giving me a bill?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would
Hmm.
consider them an influencer.
No.
Now, I
So
would
I
say it all
have-
depends. It all depends on who the person is. Like I know you can look at some influencers. Like I'll give you an example of a good influencer, one of Charlie Kirk, where he took the Gen X mindset and prior and tried to bring it back to the family where people would get married and want to have kids and start over and relate to the Bible and not push on social media and then coming in with the racists coming in with their comments and well, what's against blacks or it's against this person, and he would constantly battle that. So it all depends who the influencers are. And Colleen's got her mouth covered because obviously she doesn't like Charlie Kirk. But I would think it all depends on who it is.
Right.
So
That would gauge that.
apparently, there are the four that Dave mentioned, the four types of influencers. There's mega influencers that have 1 million plus followers. There's macro influencers that have 100,000 to 1 million, grow 10 to 100,000, and nano, which is under 10,000. The nano influencers are usually very niche specific, like someone who plays this one particular game and will walk you through how they play the game and the tricks to get to the next level. But it's very specific. It's not a gender or a general social influencer. They're more specified that way. I don't know that I like the idea that we're just calling everyone who calls themselves an influencer one. That's like calling anyone who says, well, I'm a specialist, well, where's your degree?
Right.
Then we'll talk about you're a specialist. And I think that you have to take that into consideration when you're following someone online. Like I have a friend, man, he believes everything he reads online. And I'm talking like Facebook. Oh, it said, well, I can post that the sky is purple. It doesn't mean that it is. It's Facebook.
Yeah, it's the
Or
old newspaper
checked
junkie
on-
because it's in the paper. That means it's true.
I checked on
Everything
Wikipedia.
you read is true.
Don't even get me started on Wikipedia. The social-driven website, Wikipedia, where you may or may not cite a source. Again, as Chris said, we grew up in a generation where we used encyclopedias and we had to cite sources and, studies and prove things out. We didn't just listen because Joe Blow said whatever he said. And I think that that's where we lose. That's where, as a Gen Xer, where I lose any faith in influencers.
But not to mention when I remember doing book reports or projects or whatever, and we had to go and cite the sources, go to the card catalog, find all this stuff. And like I said, we were hands-on. We had to figure it out. I think the core issue is we had common sense. We had to go find the information. We had to prove what we were saying. And I remember doing these things, running them past my parents and them challenging me. Well, why? Why is that? Prove it to me, whatever. And we had to figure that out. The common sense factor was there. Today, there is no common sense. Common sense
you
is
had
not
to back it
common
up.
anymore. Right.
Although I
They
will
Common
say,
sense is dead.
I
Common
will
sense
say
is
that
dead.
we had stupid people too. Our plus was that stupid people usually didn't make it very far or very long. If you were If you were that dumb and you know, fell out of a car doing 90 down the highway because you didn't have your seatbelt on or because you were in the back of the truck, and yeah, sometimes it was just your time to go. You had to weed out the weak. So we had a lot of people.
The survival of the fittest, Colleen.
It was survival of the fittest.
Really
and if
was.
you didn't make it,
Yeah.
listen,
No,
you
here's
were
the
short
thing.
bus for a
and that's the
reason.
other side of that too, where you say common sense is dead. Like I'm finding more and more like friends of mine and just people I know in general who are Gen Xers are caving into that. Well, the younger generation, they just don't know, and it's not about common sense, and it is about common sense.
Yes, it
It's
is.
about if the paint on the wall is blue, then somebody had to paint it that way. That's common sense. It just doesn't appear there. There's not a chemical force that puts paint on
Here's
the wall.
common sense. Don't lick the paint.
Yeah. How about you don't stick your tongue on an ice pop when it's solid
Yes.
cold and you stick to the damn thing?
Have you guys seen the
yeah.
the meme about the kid who's going to stick his finger in the socket? And the mom's like, "Oh, don't do that." And the dad's like, "No, just wait. Guess you're not going to do that again."
Yeah, you just let
That was
them
my
do
point,
it. Let them
right?
do it.
That was the point
Let
that I
'em do
wanted
it.
to make, right?
Don't touch
So-
the flame on the stove. It burns.
But here's the thing, right? When Colleen said, you know, you fall out of a car doing 90 miles an hour or whatever. Okay. So I remember one time, one of my friends was, she was in the car with her parents and she went to go readjust her, like she was sitting in the back seat. She went to go like readjust. She accidentally grabbed the door handle. And as they were going around the corner, they weren't going fast, but as they were going around the corner, the door opened and she like rolled out of the car, right? Now, she's
Was
totally
it
survive?
roll,
survive?
or did she
Yeah,
bounce
she's
out of the
been
car?
really going like 10 miles an hour, right?
She learned though, didn't she?
Real
Well,
quick.
here's the point, right? The
Do
point
that
is
stuff when you're drunk.
right.
Not sober.
The point
That's stupid
being,
if you do it when you're sober.
you learn your
She
lesson
learned to
and you'll
tuck and
never-
roll.
Yeah, but you'll never do that again because it probably scared the absolute crap out of her, right? So you make sure the door's locked. You don't grab for the door handle. That was our generation. Today's generation, oh, dude, let's do that again and go faster and let's get it on video this time.
Yeah, hold on, I didn't have
That-
my camera on.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah,
the difference.
That's
That is
the
you're
difference.
They don't
awesome,
care if
dude.
they get
You're
hurt, and then
I hope your head bounces off that paving.
yeah, and if they do get hurt, then they're looking to find someone to point the finger at
To blame.
because they don't want to take responsibility.
And then they want to sue. And
I-
then they want to sue them.
Right.
That's the
So
best
I
part. They want to
think
get money for it.
with these influencers, if they're doing something meaningful, like education or raising money or, you know, trying to get people together for the greater cause, you know, to try and
Social
promote
change.
something good. Yes, then yes, I believe you can call them an influencer. But if you're on there just to sell products and just to get your 15 minutes, you're not an influencer. You're just an idiot. That's all you're doing. You're just trying to get
No.
your 15 minutes.
No, I had an issue way back when I was younger. I went to Washington D.C. on a trip with my parents, and yeah, I was young, and we're young. We do stupid stuff, but this is where the common sense, later on comes in. I ran up these steps, and they had a flower garden on each side, and I was going to jump off the step into a flower garden. So I jumped off the step, and I landed on the brick around the so-called flower garden. But there wasn't a flower garden here. When I looked down, there was a road going into a parking garage 50 feet straight down. Had I missed that brick, I would have died.
Mm.
So that told me, don't ever do that again on
Look
any step,
before you
ever.
leap.
Exactly. Look before you leap is exactly
Look
right.
before you
But
leap.
if you look at these kids today, somebody does that, they videotape it, and right away, sure, somebody just died because they're idiots, and
The
they're posting
guardrail
it all
wasn't
over
high
Facebook.
enough. There wasn't a sign.
Oh,
the
and then
guard
they want to
didn't
sue
stop
for being
them.
stupid. Like I
Yeah.
was stupid, but I learned from that point on. I was very
Mhm.
lucky. And
Yeah.
I don't like to say I cheated death. I really didn't. That was just pure out, straight out luck that I didn't go, that wasn't
But
my
for
time. God was
storytelling
like, put that thing in
purposes-
front of me.
It's a good
For
story.
storytelling purposes, you cheated death.
Yeah.
Huh?
So I have a serious question. Do
7:30,
we think,
Chris. 7:30.
Shut up.
do
Chris.
we think that
It's almost official.
that social influencers are for lack of a better word, better than celebrity influencers,
I think it depends on.
or more useful? I guess that's a better term.
I think
That
it depends
on what it
on
is
what they're
and who they are.
doing. What are they promoting? What are they selling? What are like what's their purpose?
Well, wait
You
a
know?
minute. Way back in the day, hold on. Let before we go any further with that, Chris. Do you remember when athletes,
No.
when they put a pressure on the athlete to be a role model,
Mhm.
and athletes were fighting that because some athletes were a-holes, right? Why would you tell your kid to look up to that guy? That guy's an idiot. But they put so much of a peer pressure on those athletes to become role models for my kid to look up. When did the parents stop becoming the role model?
That's a
Why
good
do I need to-
question.
why do I need an
when did
athlete
the
to show my
power
kid how to be
shift?
normal?
When did the power shift from parents to influencers? Who
After
let
the
that
Gen X.
happen?
After the Gen X parents,
Well, again,
generations after.
Well, that's
Parents
because we didn't have
today-
social media. We didn't, please, our parents weren't paying attention to us. That
Right,
was
but here's
not
the thing.
parental skills that they instilled. That was
No, they
self-learning.
instilled balls, bravery, and learn it. Don't be
Right.
stupid. Learn it.
right.
Or you die. If you don't learn
So-
to eat on your own, you starve. Seriously. Like there's nothing else
Survival
to
of
it.
the fittest. So
Yeah.
but I think when parents of our generation, they taught us how to survive and not die. Or you do this and you're gonna die. Like whatever, right?
I
So
think they
we
left
learned,
it up to. I think they left it up to chance. I think
right.
they said,
And
"Eh,
now, but
we'll
now
see if you make
have
it home or
parents-
not."
Now you
Yeah.
have
They
parents.
never
who
told you
wanna
not
be
to drink and
kids.
drive. Just say, call me
We'll
if
see
you
if you
had
make
too
it
much to
home.
drink, but be safe driving. Basically, just drive home.
Get caught.
Don't get
Yeah.
caught. Yeah.
So
That's
now
all.
you have the parents who they want to be the kids' friends as opposed to being the parent, right? And now because we have all the social media mixed in, you have the parents who were too busy working because, everything's expensive. You need a two-income household. The parents aren't really around. Your kids are basically like left to their own devices, like latchkey kids and orphans like me and Dave and now Colleen. But with that being said, I think the parents are now relying more on the television and technology to educate the kids instead of the parents being hands on. I can tell you this.
Wasn't that Ronald Reagan's wife? It takes a village.
That'd be Nancy right now.
Wasn't that her slogan? It takes a village to raise children. I guess we can blame all this on her. She's the
Yeah,
she-
well, the thing is that you have all of these people who, they want their 15 minutes. Like, you can ground your kid, right? But I'm going to take your phone away. Okay, great. Let's not forget that they have an iPad hiding in their room. So you take the phone and you're like, I have your phone.
Before you
right?
know it, you're running your own electronics shop out of the back
Right.
room of your station
But
wagon.
you didn't take the computer. You didn't
Anybody want to buy an
you didn't take the
iPad?
iPad. Right. You didn't take any of this other stuff. You just took their phone. Okay, big deal. Well, guess what? They're going to log on to the other stuff and they're still going to be doing whatever it is they're going to do. Right. They are just so technology
dependent.
immersed. They're just
Mhm.
so immersed and they think that everything online is true and it is not.
They don't know how to socialize or
They don't.
participate in educated conversations. When
They
the
don't.
education comes in, like what I noticed, like when you get some of these younger kids of maybe like 26 years old, they're going to college, the furthest they have education, they're smart, they're going to school and whatnot. I'm not going to take that from them. But when you say something because you have experience or knowledge or time on this planet doing certain things, the first thing they want to do is pick up their phone and Google whether or not you're accurate.
Mhm.
And then when
Well,
they
they have to
figure
check
out that you're
Wikipedia.
accurate, I'm like, dude, I already knew that and I didn't need my stinking phone, you retard. Like, come on. Why do you need a phone to validate something? Like, I think that's where the lack of respect for our generation comes in. I think it's to the point, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm naive to it, but I don't think I ever lost the respect for our parents, that generation, because of what they brought to the
God, no.
table. They, as
And
hard
they
as they
worked.
worked, yeah, as
They
hard as they
worked.
worked, and I know,
Yeah.
like you said, Chris, like we were kind of left on our own to fend for
Yeah.
ourselves. But I think that that's what made us tough and made us
They didn't leave
the
us on our own
survivalists.
because they didn't like us. They left us on our own because they had to work.
They had to work just to provide for all of us, or else we
Yeah.
didn't eat. Like I can tell you how many times my dad got laid off from working
Mhm.
in a union job,
Mhm.
and we were
Yeah.
on food stamps for a little bit as it like
Yeah,
when
my
I was
dad
little.
was union. He ended up going to Canada to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's just, there's that generation. Like, my mom, she grew up on a farm. That woman was born working.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That didn't change when she came to this country. The same thing for my dad. That didn't change when he came to this country. And it wasn't that they didn't care what we were doing. It was, if you wanted to keep the house and the car, and we
They
were
just had to
going through
work.
that depression in the 80s, gas prices were skyrocketing. Everyone was freaking out over the Cold War. It was a hard time for them. And I think they did the best they could. They kept a roof over our head. It's just
And I would,
that
I
they
would
weren't
like to
as
interject.
involved.
I would like to interject and just let our listeners know that Colleen's mother comes from Ireland and has the greatest accent in the world. And her father
I'm a
was
fan.
from Canada. And he also had the greatest accent
He
in
was
the world.
what? Blasphemy. He was
Hey.
from Newfoundland.
Hey,
Well, he's Canadian.
what part of Ireland is your mother from? Because I went to Dublin and Belfast, and I love both of them.
Yeah.
She's just northwest of Dublin, County Cavan. And my dad is from Newfoundland, which was an independent country when my dad was born. They didn't become part of Canada until after my dad was born. Yes.
Is it true that
so
they have
he was
that they-
not
Canadians are
Canadian. He was a
Bigfoot in
Newfie.
Newfoundland?
Well, okay. He's Newfoundlandian, I guess. I don't
Newfie.
know. Okay,
Just
okay, thank
Newfie.
you.
He
Thank
doesn't.
you. Yeah.
He
But
does A, not I. A.
okay, but wait, her parents had the greatest, well, her mom still does, have the greatest accent. Her mom has never lost her Irish accent. And
Mhm.
it's like, I could just sit and listen to Colleen's mom talk all day long. She's great.
How
I'm
old's your
telling
mom,
you, she gets
Colleen?
off the phone with her sister, and it's like she never stepped off of Ireland. The Brogues
How
right
old's your
back.
mom?
Jesus, you'd never believe what the two lassies were at today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Adorable.
my God, I
Yeah,
love
Um,
it.
Her mom is beyond
I love
adorable.
your mother. I love you.
It's
Did that
great.
accent's the best.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, right? You have to meet Mrs. Wade, right? Did you hear what I just said? Mrs. Wade.
No, say it again.
cannot-
My
not
hearing aid's not
me,
working.
my mom.
No.
Hello?
I cannot. I don't care how many times I'm told, I could never walk up to Colleen's mother and be like, "Hi, Nancy." No.
Mrs.
I don't
Wade.
care how old I am. It is Mrs. Wade. It's
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. whoever you are. It's not
Because that's
Mrs.
how
That's
we
the
were brought
res-
up.
That's the respect factor.
Mhm.
Like I
Correct.
have kids now. Like I know when I see my old coaches from high school, when I do run into them, I call them coach still. I do not call them by
Mhm.
their first name. And I've been
Mhm.
yelled at. Say, you're out of school. You don't need to call. You're 50 years old. You don't need to
And I
call me
have
by
to
my
tell
first name."
you,
It's a respect
think-
factor.
But you can't. You can't like break that.
No.
for
No, you
whatever
can't
reason.
break
It's like,
Nope.
it's like
But I have to tell
ingrained
you-
in you.
a friend
No.
of mine, she has 2 boys, and to them, I'm Miss Wade.
And that's
Is
the way it
Miss
should
Wade
be.
coming? Oh, Miss Wade, it's so good to see you. So it's not all, it's not the entire generation, but I think it's a lot of the parenting that
Yeah.
lost that focus somewhere along the line.
Right.
What-
So
what-
do you think
And what does it skill? What kind of skill do they need to do this?
I
Like,
can talk.
To be an influencer, what skills do you need?
to be an influencer?
I look pretty and I can
Oh.
talk.
But are they doing it? Are they doing it for a career? Are they doing it because they have like a special skill? You know, like I know there, like I came across a video. I don't even know if you would consider it an influencer, but it was somebody making some sort of like dessert. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And it had to do with M&Ms and crescent rolls. And I never got to the end of it because
I need that
just
link.
forwarded it to myself. I don't know. But do you have to have a special skill? And what about the videos where you think you're going to get an answer from these people, but it turns out to be a 20-minute long thing. You never get to the end. It's like, stop repeating yourself, get to the point. And like 20 minutes goes by. If you have the time to invest in those 20 minutes, good for you. But you know what? After like 2 minutes, I'm like, we're done. No, we're done.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're selling. I don't care what you're trying to do.
I have some kind of an answer for you. You know how I was talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and his 1 million viewers?
Mhm.
Apparently, you have to pay to be on his premium,
What's it
whatever
like
it is.
a
So
subscription?
they are making money.
The
Okay, so
subscription.
when you
gotta
pay for the
subscribe to get
premium-
his info.
Okay,
You
so
pay
you
for the
pay
privilege of listening
premium.
to someone run at the mouth.
Yeah, you're a
So,
great soccer
like,
player.
what
What
do
do
you
you
get
want?
Had I known.
Like, what do you get for the money if you're paying to follow these people? What exactly are you getting out of it? That's my question, because I don't pay to follow these people. Like, that's just dumb.
Are you kidding? My whole life is free subscriptions and canceling them. Like, I don't pay for
Correct.
any of that stuff. I'm not going to pay to listen to
100%.
someone run at
Like
the mouth.
I'll follow. I guess you can consider these individuals influencers. I follow cookers, like guys that cook, guys that smoke food. Like Southern Boys is
They're
a-
those nano influencers, right?
Yeah, like those guys will cook food, but they also hunt. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
also work hard for a living. They don't just use their food dry rubs on their food and promote their smokers or promote their pots and
Mhm.
pans or promote their herbs and the
Joe
seasonings.
Bob's Dry Rub, come and get it.
Right. Like that's not all they do. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
have
do
day
you
jobs.
Dave, do you pay these quote unquote influencers to watch them smoke and dry rub?
No, because they're on YouTube. I'm not going there.
I just had to ask the question. Oh, I just had to ask the question.
not touching that one. You might try
Yeah,
to force
I
me,
would-
but I'm not doing it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It rubs the dry rub all
Yeah,
over its body.
whatever.
Yeah.
Friction knocks it off.
Yeah.
What?
Or else
Stop
it gets the hose again. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets the
Let me put
hose.
some of that
Yeah.
on my chicken.
Hey,
Woo!
what was that
Is
dog's
it a
name?
hose or is it a pickle? I'm not really sure what's going on here.
What was the dog's name?
Tom's a pickle. The who? The dog?
The dog.
Is there a
What
dog
dog?
influencer?
The dog, and it rubs its lotion, or it gets the
Oh,
hose.
Yeller. Oh, Yeller?
No, it was
Oh.
like a poodle
Precious.
kind of a thing. Precious.
Precious.
That's it. Precious.
Wait, hold on,
Yes.
hold on.
Oh, Yeller. Oh,
What
my.
is Precious?
Listen,
Yeah,
my bad
you
that
know,
I forgot who Precious was.
I'll be honest with you. Looking at the influencers in general, even our athletes, I know for a fact that there are a couple athletes in Philadelphia that retired and won Super Bowls, and they eat for free everywhere they go. They can pretty much stay wherever they want, eat wherever they get a
Mhm.
free meal. They're like lifers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we consider them influencers, but how many influencers are out there that have become celebrities over the amount of views or followers that they have, where they go out, somebody recognizes them, and these guys can basically go to a restaurant and eat for free. I know my two of my boys follow a YouTuber. My one son went to Florida on a senior trip, met the kid that he follows.
Was
He's
it
seen
Jake
him.
or Logan Paul?
No, they're idiots. I don't know who this kid was. This kid was a gamer that they knew, and my son said that when he was there and he got to meet him, he just happened to be walking by him, recognized him, and they went over and started talking to him. People were actually buying him pretzels and sandwiches and whatnot. Like during the day, he'd see somebody would walk up and they'd buy him something. Like, I think that
Is
I don't
that
know if
more
it's a new-
perk as opposed to career?
I think it's more of a perk. But I mean, if every day you go somewhere, if you're out and about all the time and you're not paying to eat, what's the difference?
I think with influencers, if you were supporting a particular social topic, or if you were promoting a specific sport or a cooking channel, something with tangible value to it, something that has expertise, as opposed to, and I'm probably going to get crucified for this, the goddamn Kardashians. Like, what have they ever done to earn the influence that they have, other than have influential parents and be pretty? What have they done to earn that? And that's where,
Nothing.
for me, I lose that any iota of respect for an influencer. Like, if you
Well-
spent your life as a chef and you want to share tips and tricks, I'm all for that. You're a makeup artist and you want to share the best way for chubby girls to put on makeup that doesn't sweat off, I'm all over that. But when you weigh 106 pounds and you're going to sell me Spanx, I have a problem. I have a problem with that.
That's a commercial.
I have a problem with that.
See that. I want to see that commercial. Sell Spanx when you weigh 106 pounds. How do you? wait a
They
minute.
do.
So when you
That's what
put
one of
them
those
on-
Kardashians
Hold
do.
on, hold on. When you put them on,
No, it's
and you
Skims.
advertise them, do you wrap them around?
Skins, sorry,
It's
skins.
It's Skims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
whatever.
Skims.
So
know,
that's
you-
that's where I
Snaps,
lose respect for
stamps,
influencers.
whatever.
If you don't have a tangible skill that you're promoting or a specific social agenda that you're promoting, then I think it's just running at the mouth.
Kim Kardashian started out as a dresser for Paris Hilton. She used to pick out all of Paris Hilton's clothes, and then I don't know what happened between the two of them. But eventually, you know, she was noticed for, I guess, her style or whatever. But again, what does she do? What,
Yeah, she
what
didn't.
exactly does
Did
Kim
she go to
Kardashian
school?
do? Like, I don't
Does she
understand.
have Does she have an education other than high school?
And it's not just her, it's the whole family. All of them.
Kim Kardashian went to law school. She went
She
to law
did?
School. She did. She went to law school, and I think she
Holy shit.
That's why
failed
nobody
the
sues her.
bar. I think she failed the bar
Oh.
twice, and she has not gone for a third time yet. Because I think if you fail the bar 3 times, you're done. Like, that's it. You're done.
Yeah,
You
you
cannot
don't
take it
get a-
again.
Yeah, you don't get a
Because
fair
her
transfer.
father was a lawyer, and so
Was a lawyer,
she,
yeah.
So I know.
Wasn't
I
he
know,
like OJ's lawyer or something?
He
Or,
was,
yeah.
Yes.
So he was a lawyer, and I think I
So
think
they
she
were
got
rich
involved.
and she went online.
no,
Yes.
Is
but I think
basically her
she-
credential.
No, but I think she came across some law cases that she felt were not fair. Like, the person was jailed unfairly or didn't get the right trial, or whatever the case was. And so she kind of went
She needs to go see
in
Lucy
that
Lippy.
direction. Yeah, she kind of went in that direction, and she
She
did.
needs that lawyer.
Yeah, but look, I'm not saying I'm a fan of hers, because I'm not, but
You
eventually
know an
over time-
awful lot for not being a fan.
no, but eventually she went to law school. Okay. Now, as for the rest of the family, I know Kylie does the lip kits, whatever.
Do you
which
know
are sold-
she's
That's not a
She's
lip kit.
number
That's
1, 2,
Botox.
3.
They shoot their
She's-
lips
No,
up.
no, no.
They're-
number 4 on the influencer list, the top 10. She's number 4, Kylie
Where's
Jenner.
Bruce Jenner fit in? Where's Bruce Jenner fit in?
Isn't
he
he not Bruce anymore?
no, he's not.
I don't know what he is, but is he an influencer?
No. The
No.
top 10, Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo Messi, Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, who, by the way, 40% of her followers are assumed to be fake.
Oh, I was going
Dwayne
to say
Johnson.
40% of her body's fake, and I was going to say, yeah, her chest.
Well, that too, but
yeah.
So what's that?
Dwayne
What do you mean
Johnson,
fake? What do you
Ariana
mean
Grande,
fake? Made up,
Kim
made up
Kardashian,
followers?
and Beyonce. Yeah, made up
you-
followers.
So she's logged
Like, you know, when you go onto
40% of the
Amazon
time,
and you
then
go to
she's
buy
put it on a
something and
different
it's
account.
got 5,000 5-star reviews, and you
Yeah, they're all-
know that
they're all
20%
bogus.
of those are fake,
Yeah, they're bogus.
it's kind of like that.
You might as well shop on Temu.
Right. I could've did a
Seriously,
Temu
go
back
shop
in
on
the day.
Temu. You get, if you spin the wheel, you get like 100%.
You get 100%, 3 times 100.
You get 12 free gifts.
Every single time you get $300.
$399.95. Like, what the
Okay.
Now,
hell?
listen,
But if I,
I
buy
fell for
something that's
that.
$5, how the hell do I still pay? That's all
I
wanna
fell
know.
for that. I picked my 5 free gifts, and it was $22.95. And that really
Bullshit.
annoyed
You got
me
robbed.
because I had to send out emails to all of my friends.
I know I got one.
Click on Timo. I know you got one. And I'm like,
Yeah,
don't
and then you
worry
made
about
me click
this.
on it, and then I went
Ignore
shopping,
it.
and I'm
Ignore
like,
it.
I
what
did
am
not
doing?
make you
I'm
click.
gross. Yeah. well, I
Does that
spun the
mean I'm
wheel
an
and I got-
influencer?
I spun the wheel and
You
I
were
got
an
100.
influencer.
I
You
got
made these
100%
people
of
buy
everything free.
Timo.
Yeah,
I think it means I'm an influencer.
you might
You know,
be.
when I heard about Timo before I actually knew what it was, somebody had said the name. I thought it was an actual an animal. I'm like, what the hell is Timo?
Like an emu.
Yeah, Timo is the female version of the
he's,
emu.
he's a
teenage
Tasmanian
emu.
emu.
It's a
Oh
teenage
my
emu.
God.
That's
Like,
why they call it
seriously,
a
like,
emu.
what is a Timo? You have to go online and look at Timo. Why? Was it a scientific
Chris,
experiment
this
that
is
went
the
haywire?
same man who
Tell me
never
why.
heard of Punch the Monkey.
Yes.
Okay.
I heard of Punch the Monkey. I brought up Punch the Monkey. I wanted to punch him in the throat, that little, you know what. God bless his
You-
little soul.
If you mess one little hair on Punch the Monkey's head, I will kill
Hey, I
you.
post, listen. I
So
love
will
listen,
bring the
I
no,
post in the
seriously.
picture.
Seriously. So influencers, thumbs up or thumbs down, or we're Gen X, we don't care.
I don't
I'll
care.
go first. Gen X, I don't care. I vote them down. I can't stand influencers. They're a waste of time. They don't work. They don't earn a living. They don't know what it's like to earn a living, and they live off of everybody else. All they want to do is become popular, and once that popularity hits, that's where they start tagging people for money. I would not pay an influencer, especially myself. I think that most influencers, I would say 75% of the influencers are garbage. The other 25% that are out there, there are some that are, in my opinion, don't mean crap other than me, but that I feel that are valid because those guys actually worked and did their thing and brought their knowledge to the table to help change the way society thinks. And actually got the kids of today in conversations to start talking about the differences versus just saying, I want to live on my platform and say everything from my platform, and you can't tell me what I can and can't say, and you're not allowed to criticize me or critique me, which I think is garbage.
No, because
we
you're wrong.
grew up and we all grew up not just in just around each other where we were able to critique each other, but our parents just beat the hell out of us with knowledge and constantly kicked our rear ends when we were wrong and told us how sometimes when you said certain things we were disrespectful and we got slapped upside the head for it.
Mhm.
I don't
Can
think
I
there's
tell you,
enough of
I
being
got-
slapped upside the head anymore. There should be more.
I
of
got
it.
critique today from my Irish mammy.
Mammy.
You're looking a bit rough around the edges there today. What happened?
That's a bit.
That's a
rough.
quote.
Was that from Mrs. Wade?
That is a quote.
No, I don't think
love
that's from
Mrs.
Mrs.
Wade.
Wade.
We love you, Mrs. Wade.
No, I don't think that. I don't think Mrs. Wade would say something like that.
Let's have a conversation on one of our future podcasts about how many hockey games Mrs. Wade got kicked out of.
That's
Okay.
I do not doubt
that's a
that.
good woman right there. That's a
Okay,
good
so
mom.
my wrap up. Do I think influencers are worth it? I think that some are and some aren't. I think it's like everything else. You have to take the good with the bad. Do they influence me? No. I mean, I'm Gen X. I spend my life on Facebook. I barely go on TikTok. I've never been on Twitter /X/ whatever it is now. If I want to find out if something's good or bad, I'm old school. I look up reviews and surveys and things like that. So they don't affect me in any way. But I think that they do severely affect the younger generation. And I think that that could be very problematic if we're not concerned about who is influencing our children or our grandchildren making those decisions and changing society in a way that's going to be beneficial versus someone just running at the mouth to get their 5 minutes, as Chris says. So for me personally, no, they don't matter. But for the younger generations, I think they do. And I think that generation has to hold the influencers more accountable for the content that they're putting out. I get the whole cancel culture is bad, but to hold somebody accountable is different than I don't like what he said, so stop listening to him. Right? I think you should be able to back up your opinions, your views, and then have a discussion. And I think the younger generation needs to have that accountability as part of their requirement when listening to these influencers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't really care. Influencer, non-influencer, whatever. I don't care. If I am scrolling through social media and I find something that looks interesting, I'll look at it. Okay. If I really like it and I'll send it to myself to save so I can go back and watch it later. A lot of the things that I'm looking at are, maybe, fashion or traveling or, cooking or whatever. There's a little kid that I follow on Instagram, Cooking with Carter. And he's a 6-year-old little British kid. And
Chris,
he cooks.
phrasing. I follow a kid on Instagram.
No. And he's the cutest little
Do you
kid,
want a piece
right?
of chocolate?
Oh, God.
My van.
Stay away from the white vans, Colleen. Run.
Listen, if they have puppies or vodka, I'm in.
Give me a piece of candy, you can get in my car. No, Carter is this little British kid, and he does like all different kinds of like cooking, and he goes on and he's making stuff, and then he's like, oh, today we're gonna make sausage rolls, today we're gonna make cupcakes, we're gonna make ice cream, whatever it is, right? And
I would
he's
totally
really
watch that.
No, but yeah, and he's so cute with his little British accent, and every time he gets on, he's like, today we're gonna cook, and then whatever, right? And he's just adorable, right? And so his dad is filming, and it's just cute. So I follow him, I watch him, whatever. I don't pay for to be on like a mailing list or club or anything like that, but I do think that Colleen is right. A lot of these people, the younger generation, they're influenced by these quote unquote influencers, which is just stupidity. And they don't have the common sense and they don't back anything up. They, it's just, oh, well, it's true because I just saw it happen. No, you saw something happen, but that doesn't mean it's right or wrong or true or not true, whatever. So I honestly think that everybody is just out for their 15 minutes. They want to throw themselves out there. They want to try and be famous, get rich quick. They don't want to work. I can tell you this, I do this podcast for fun. We're not getting paid. We're not getting any money.
No,
Whatever.
and when they listen to when your
Hold
kids
on.
start
No one
listening to
told me that we
becomes
weren't getting
problematic.
paid. Listen, I'm out of here. No way. No one said.
Wait, time out. We got to do your makeup and your hair.
Surprise. But with that being said,
let's get to our
I'm interested in coming on and talking to you guys and, going back and forth and seeing what your opinions are. And I like having these conversations with you guys. So, I wouldn't call us influencers by any mean. I do this for fun. I think it's a good time.
Agreed.
So if
And
anybody out there
today's episode,
if anybody out there listening wants to drop a comment, do you think influencers are?
Yes, today's episode was sponsored by Axe and Arrow Brewery, High Street, Glassboro, right on Rowan's campus, and also KMT Consultants at 900 Haddon Ave in Collingswood, New Jersey.
To you, gardening and yard work needs located in Port Elizabeth, New Jersey. And on that happy note, from all of us at Three Friends and All the Things, this is
Hold on. This is also brought to you by Mrs. Wade.
Brought to you by Mrs. Wade, our favorite little Irish woman who we love so much. And on that happy note, this is Colleen, Dave, and Chris from Three Friends and All the Things for another week. Stay safe. Keep it real. Remember who you are.
Go Phillies.
Thanks for listening to the show. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. See you next time on Three Friends and All the Things podcast. Real talk, real people. New episodes drop every week, so hit follow, leave a review, and tell your messiest friend to listen to. You know the one I'm talking about. Until next time, keep it real, keep it loud, and keep doing all the things.